Alright guys, it's Team 3 Star and I'm back with another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and this is the part 2 to the Roger one. I'm gonna be, whichever one comes first, it would be the part 2 obviously. But right now I'm gonna be running the Oden event instead of the Roger one like last time, and I am rocking a bullet team. And I know a lot of people have bullet, and bullet's actually one of like the best strength, not units. Well, units too, but leads. Just because he has that type nullification, or like he's advantageous against all types, so it doesn't really matter. But he's really useful for the last stage with his end of turn damage on his special, and it does 20% when you launch it. So there's always that to have. And then I'm running not Usohachi. I was got the mistake. Dogstorm, the Coliseum Dogstorm. He's a free unit that you can get. I'm not sure if he's out right now, but you can always get him. I just have him just because he's a booster for the event, so just doing a little bit more damage and having my points go up a bit higher than usually. I'm also running a V1 Snakeman, and for him, he's really good for his special at the end of for the last stage. Getting that, I believe it's attack buff and something else, but I can't remember. Oh my god, if I kind of sound like a little bit tired, yeah, I mean I'm running like 5 hours of sleep today, so bear with me. But the main unit that's like I'm using this unit for all these two units, but one of them you can switch out. But the main unit that you like really need, I just didn't have a sub, so if you have anybody that can take off I believe it is called special lock or something like that. I don't remember what it was called, but the Boa. She's like the best unit that you could run in this event for the last stage, so you can launch everything else. And then Law's here for he removes the paralysis for the last stage on Kinemon. But right now on the Shanks stage, Shanks doesn't really do too much. You can just have a magic orb with bullet and kill him off. He does give you the tandem orbs and have them non-matching, so there's also that, but nothing too out of the ordinary. For the Rayleigh stage, all you gotta do, he takes away all your orbs. So I'm going to be launching bullet right here just to get end of turn damage to get that going on. So you just got to make sure you're hitting goods instead of perfects. And he also does the lock good slots that Whitebeard does on the stage prior, so there's always that to do. So if you have like Oden or Luffy Zoro, if you have your Wano slots like I was talking about in the previous video, you can lock those and you're pretty much set. Right here, the end of turn damage is going to come in clutch. Not too much because I'm not hitting perfects, but it's good enough for the time being. What you wanted to do, actually a little mistake I guess you can say, but it would just be more damage. If you launched, yeah, no, actually you would launch in this turn. I also didn't hit my perfects all the way, so that's why you didn't die. But if you were to launch a Snakeman special on this stage and get the buffs on the next turn, that'd be way better. Like right here, you give me like the goods, and that's a little bit of an issue, but not too bad. It's just Rayleigh has a lot of health, so you gotta make sure you kill him pretty quickly. You can also run the Snakeman, the V1 Snakeman as a lead with the bullet friend. It's all the same thing. I just ran double bullet just for the type nullification, and he's pretty good. But you can always run that. So if you don't have bullet, you have the V1 Snakeman also. Another captain that I was going to use, but I decided not to, just for the sake of length, was running Mihawk Perona. Right here, you're going to see my support for Legend, Corazon, and V1 Rayleigh. It comes in clutch and takes away the paralysis. But if you don't have them, you can just run like that Law. He removes paralysis, or any unit that takes away paralysis. I can believe if Van Cabon Clay does that. To the top of my head. Stampede Chopper does that as well. I have him, but I don't have him a special all the way up, so I decided not to use him. Right now I'm just going to be launching everybody special at that point, and it's GG at that point, just because bullets end of turn damage would take care of him. And it would be good if you have a V1 Akainu, the red, if you had him as a support for like on bullet. So when you activate his special, you can get all red orbs and just more damage, but it's all the same thing. Yeah, I believe Usohachi. No, I keep calling him Usohachi. Dog Storm will be doing the most damage, or Inu, whatever you want to call him. He's gonna be doing the most damage. He's right there. He did like what? I mean, I couldn't count last time, so I think it was 1 mil, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably wrong. You can correct me, but yeah, there you go. It's just GG at that point with the matching orb. And see you on the next team. Oh, I mean, just overall, it's a pretty easy event. If you have these units, it's just having that boa to remove the I forget what it's called, the special block or whatever you want to call it. But it's always good to have just the buffers for ranking. And for the next team, I'm running my boy V2 Snakeman. I know a lot of people don't have him, so you can like run V1 Snakeman. You can run the bullet too with him. But I just ran double Snakeman just to see how much damage. And I also am running Super Type Sabo that I pulled recently. Oh, so there's always that. And I kind of want to see what his damage was. Like right here, I'm running Event Carbon Clay. The boa again and the law again, just for the paralysis removal and just for a little bit more damage. And you're just gonna be stalling on the first two stages, not anything like too special, but you know, gotta get those specials going. And then for Snakeman, if you don't know, to activate his super type, you need to have a Sabo, an Ace, or any Straw Hat. So that's why Sabo's on this team as well. In the next stage, you got a bunch more fodder units that you can just stall for. You can just, for Snakeman, you can just kill one, because then with the recovery orbs, how he buffs them, health is not an issue, like at all. Yeah, I'm just gonna be stalling out a bit, and I'm also gonna be using the Garp ship for all the teams because it's strength and psi. Event Carbon Clay is strength and psi, so you know it just helps with that. You can always run like the Ho ship. I believe Megalo you could. And if you formatted it right, you could even run like a powerhouse team with the Zunisha ship or Rocket Man. A couple examples right there. But you're going to be wanting to mainly run strength. And then once again on the Shanks stage, just give you the tandem and unmatching. Right here you could even launch Snakeman special, but I decided not to because, you know, just to save it. But you can do that to get your matching orbs if you really wanted them. But I don't think Shanks does anything. It's kind of like the buggy stage. I don't think they really do anything after that. And you could be switching into Bon Clay as well, just for a little bit more damage via Snakeman's leader. But it's not too bad. It doesn't really matter. They're more for utility anyway. Yeah, and then with all those matching orbs, it's just GG at that point for Shanks. And on the Rayleigh stage, without the end of turn damage red bullet, it will be a little bit more grindy. But you could activate Snakeman's super type as well as his special, so you can get your orbs and just kill him at that point. But I decided to wait so I can remove his barrier to do as much damage as I can before he does the lock slot. And right here, one of the best super attacks in my opinion. Just this Snakeman's special, it's so cool. One of the best to debut. I'd argue that Rogers is a little bit better, but I mean it's still up there. Yeah, right here I just saved the super type. You don't really need it, but you could activate it if you really wanted to just kill him easier to save those orbs. It's not really too needed. And here comes the empty slots, and you just activate your specialty in this turn. For this turn, and you're basically done. Kinemon would just become fodder at that point. And then for all these teams, I couldn't find an Oden friend, so I couldn't really show him off. But if you were to use him, you can use anybody that you want, because he's I believe he's a rainbow leader. But you could like prioritize strength. So you could be rocking like V2 Snakeman, V1 Snakeman, Bullet, Mihawk Perona, Especially Mihawk Prona since they buff strength and size, so you can run a Bon Clay and Ivankov with them. That's just like another unit that you could be using. And out here I also have Clash Crocodile on Ivankov and Bon Clay just for a little bit more damage because I believe it's a 0.5, not attack buff, I forget what it's called. Slot boost, I think. That might be wrong though. But yeah, here's a Snakeman super type, and it's GG with his attack buff. And Sabo too, just to put more salt to the wound. Just looking at this amazing super attack. You can also run Roger, I believe, in this event, but I'd rather go strength. But you could run him just to get more points for the showcase. And I'm probably gonna be using this team to finish it. And probably like switch out Ivankov Bon Clay to like Roger or something like that, just to get a little bit more points for the rank ups. Because you do get like a guarantee to go, like the PvP unit. I talked about it in the video prior, so there's a lot of good stuff there. But yeah, Sabo just takes care of everything. Yeah, just the main unit to have is Boa. If you have anybody else, I can take away whatever it's called, the special. Like stop special, so you can't use it. I still forget the name of it. As long as you have a unit that does that, you can substitute it up for Boa. But on the last team, it's a little bit more free-to-play friendly to a certain extent, obviously. I'm running Super Type Sabo this time. Just because since I pulled him, I want to see what he can do as a leader. But you can tell by the health. I do believe he doesn't buff health, but he buffs your attack by a considerable amount, so it's pretty good. And he could beat the event fairly quickly compared to the other teams. And I'm also going to be running the same units, the Law again, Boa, of course, V1 Snakeman for the attack buff. I was thinking about running something else, but I decided just to keep them there. And I'm also going to be running Kizuna Carrot, so she's a really good free-to-play option for strength and int. She buffs their attack, so just to add more salt to the wound at that point on the last stage. And she's still a really good unit too. But like right here, you can see that I'm just stalling on these fodder units just a bit, just to get my specials up for the relay stage, if anything. Oh, and then the really good part about Sabo, you can really like heavy stall with him. Since in his lead, as much perfect as you hit, you get like a certain amount of pinch heal. I forget how much it is. Per, I believe it's like 500 something. It should be up there. So it's always really good. And then plus like the slots with the auto heal 1000, so you're gonna be healing for a lot via pinch heal instead of like Snakeman with the recovery. So there's also that. You can it's kind of the same thing that Laffy does when you switch to Law. With the pinch heal as well, so it's just a little bit better, I think, for Sabo. Just for a little bit more stall. Right here, Rayleigh is gonna empty my slots again. I'm gonna wait it out and just get those pinch heals going. I'm just gonna activate Sabo super type here just to get a little bit of an attack buff. To kill him on this turn. It is a crit buff actually, I believe. And here's a special. Sabo's special is so cool too. And the way like he has to move, it sounds really cool. And then just like a little quote unquote plug on the Sabo gameplay that I did release prior, so you can check that out as well. I had a blast editing it, and I put a lot of work into it. Right there, I mean, you can see I still suck at hitting my perfects, but it still gets the job done. You know, these videos are like really easy to upload because since they don't have edits into them or like music in the background, it uploads like way quicker. And I do get memed at a lot because everybody's like, "Oh, team, you never upload," or "This takes like 5 hours to upload," and it really does. It's because I always put the videos on like 4K and all that, like really good graphics or like aesthetics. Because I run some of the games I run in like low frame rate like in Bounty. Like when I zoom in, you can kind of tell. Right here, I'm gonna be launching not cracker, carrot special. Just to get the attack buff. And she's still a really good unit too. I think I've already said that already. You can't go wrong with it. When you get to the point that this event, you can just run any like red unit and you should be fine. Lead wise, if you can find an Oden, just make sure you're redoing the event as much as you can. Because honestly, they're pretty rare. I've seen a lot more Rogers than Oden. Just because Rogers is a little bit more hype. Here comes a Sabo super type again. For Sabo, I believe you need a Koala, a Luffy, or an Ace, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe some other like revolutionary armies, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So that's why V1 Snakeman's on this team. And it would be good to run Sabo Koala, but since they're the same name, you can't really do that. But that would be a really good choice to have as well as a lead. If you don't like those mono strength leads, you can run Cerebral instead, and just run Sabo Koala, event called Bonclay, this Law. I believe Boa is also Cerebral as well. I might be wrong though. But with that, that's all my teams I got for today. Just to make sure that you guys are grinding out this event, because the Buggy and Shanks that are out, they're actually really, really good for free-to-play unit, and they work really well. But with that being said, it's Team 3 Star, and I'm signing out. Peace.